Sorry.
How warm is it?
Not that.
Okay, good.
We had to hang on to our hats.
You hooch. I'm going to be drinking out of that here in a little bit.
Are you?
My wife is drinking straight from the bottle of our drink for the podcast.
You said it wrong.
What?
My wife. Borat? No?
No. I have, but I try and like block that out of my memory.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pamela.
Where is the pussy magnet?
What's up with it, Vanilla Face? Me and my homie Azamai park a slab out front, couple of pimps, no hoes. Very nice.
How much?
I'm gonna lean back that way you can do it so you don't hit me in the arm again.
I got.
That's Jill hit in the arm too.
Yeah, she hit me in the arm too.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like, that hurts.
What happened to your arm?
Ladies and gentlemen, safety is a priority when it comes to slow pitch softball and pitching. I did not abide to the safety rules.
I mean, this would be a great thing for a product placement. Too bad we don't have like a green sponsor or anything.
Yeah. So he's got that Blue Flame pitching machine, and there's a pin that goes in. What's it for? The tensioner?
Yeah, it's the adjustment on the spring.
Okay. So that pin had started to work its way out, and when I put my foot down on the pedal to get ready to fling it, it made like a crunch noise from where the pin was like kind of like getting pushed back in, or like the ring around the pin. Mm-hmm. So when I like pushed my foot down, I was like, that didn't sound right. But I went ahead and pitched it anyways. The cue is when I look up, that's when I'm going to pitch it. So when I pitched it to him, I didn't think he was going to hit it. He still did. I'm looking right down at the pitching machine. He swings away at this thing and totally blew up the side of my arm.
See, I just saw the ball, because it's like sometimes, like some of the people that use the machine, like it's easy. I'm going to do a video on that here pretty soon. I need to put that down in there too. The timing thing is kind of hard to get with that machine. Mm-hmm. Like if you've got the guy that's like looking down, pushes the pedal, and then sits there, and then all of a sudden just cuts it loose. I mean, you don't know what's coming.
Right.
But it's good to have a system. You know, like push the pedal, wait about the same amount of time, and then look up and then pull. That way you know the pitch is coming. Right. See, but some people don't do that. Right. So I've gotten in the habit of just waiting for the ball to cut loose, because I don't know how many times I saw Jordan the other day, just like he was just watching it and just pulling it, and then he would just keep watching. So I was like, well, this isn't going to work.
Yeah, so needless to say, I got blown up, and then Jesse immediately was like, oh, God, are you okay? He's like, that's why you need to be behind the net. I'm like, I don't even care about that. Like, I was more concerned about your pitching machine than my arm, so.
Well, yeah, it's just like, I didn't even think about it. Like, I noticed that it was, like, the machine is pretty stinking consistent. Yeah. I mean, as far as arc and position goes. And I noticed that it was flat and it was outside. And I thought that was peculiar, but I swung anyway because, here came the pitch. Mm-hmm. And come to find out, it was just a laser that hit him because the machine threw something wrong.
There's no bruise, but.
Hey, you know what I could do? I could throw that in the podcast. Oh! You right? Yep. So that's how this podcast starts. That's what we did today. Mm-hmm. We got some swings in. There's been quite a bit of stuff going on here lately. Got both of the top 5 ASA and U-Trip videos done. The U-Trip video had, I think it's almost up to 4,000 views, which is a lot. Pretty cool. But the ASA video, on the other hand,
I figured you would have had more views out of it, though, because here in the Midwest, ASA is played more predominantly. I mean, I don't know what you're, like I don't know how your following is geographically, but I figured that the ASA stuff would have gotten more love.
See, I have noticed if you go to the channel, if you're on a computer and you go to the channel, I think it might be the same on a phone app too, I'm not sure. You can go to the channel on your computer and it'll say popular uploads. Now, I noticed that a lot of this stuff is U-Trip. You can scroll down and find this. Find that a lot of this stuff is U-Trip, but it seems like all of the ASA videos that I post seem to get a lot of views. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's just a coincidence. I don't know. Yeah. But it seems like the ASA videos get views faster. But the thing that made people mad with the ASA video was, of course, beating the dead horse here, the Monster. I made a comment that you're not going to find any monsters in the video, and I'd like to know how many people immediately quit watching, disliked it, and left.
Mm-hmm. Oh, does it have a lot of thumb down?
I think it had... I haven't had this many thumb down on a video maybe ever. But it still had a lot of positive reviews. 40 likes, 5 dislikes. I thought it was more dislikes than that.
5's the most you've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if it'll tell me. No, if it doesn't tell me, I figured it might show me the most disliked videos.
That's funny.
But either way, it happened so fast.
Yeah.
You know, people get bent out of shape and all that stuff. I never said, even in the comments, people were like, "Oh, well, my torch is hotter than this and this and this." Great, I'm glad you think that. This is my review. Starting a YouTube channel is not hard, no matter what people say. I mean, you know, your phone's got a camera. Fire it up and use it and tell me what you think your best bats are. I mean, that's all I did. I'm not promoting product. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. All I'm doing is saying that I didn't swing a Monster for any of my videos. I never said they didn't perform. I'm just not going to give that company any more than what they deserve.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line.
So then if that's the case, why don't you go ahead and talk about that Liberty?
Yeah, speaking of ASA bats, got the 2017 Worth ASA Liberty. Got a review in on it. It is on the channel. Also on there is the USSSA Flip Washington. That one I wasn't too wild about. You didn't swing that one, did you?
No.
No.
No, I had it here at the house with you, but that was it.
It feels good. It's back to the mid-load thing. I've swung 2 different bats now that are mid-loaded, and not a fan. It's kind
What was
of
the other one, the Lawman?
You know what? I forgot about that. The Lawman was too, so I guess that makes 3. Because there was the Flip Washington, the Lawman, and then the Easton United.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about the Lawman being mid-loaded, but to me that didn't really stand out as mid-loaded. It's still kind of, now that you say that, I forgot all about that bat. That did kind of upset my swing still a little bit. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Like, I rely on a big end load to be able to hit a ball well usually, and I can do okay with a balanced bat. It's just something about like feeling heavy in the hands, and then you wait for like the end load to whip through, like it never does. Maybe it's just something I need to adjust in my swing. I don't know, but I cannot stand it. They all hit okay, and that Flip Washington actually hit pretty well. Pretty stinking well.
Dan put some pretty good swings on it, too.
Right, and maybe it's just me not liking a balanced bat combined with the mid-load. I don't know, because Dan likes balanced bats.
Right.
And he raked with it. Loved it. So maybe that's what that was. I don't know. It was interesting to say the less. There is also a vlog on there. I think I've only did one vlog since the last podcast. Yes. There is a vlog on there. We did 5.5 hours of BP. We showed up at noon. Didn't leave until it got dark. Gabe is probably glad that he missed out on that one. We swung until our arms falled off.
Stay high, kiddo.
Yeehaw! But that was a long day. I felt that one for 3 or 4 days. But we got plenty of reviews in. We got that Liberty in that day. The USSSA DC-41 will be coming Sunday, which is basically you're seeing this today, being the New Year's, because this is New Year's Eve. Also going to have the 15 Kevin Kennington Super Z. I like that bat. I like that bat a lot. Jordan hated it. I don't know why.
Well, I think for the same reason that you, while you liked it, it wasn't like glowing, is because it was the last bat you swung for that day.
True.
And he even said that he thought it might have been because of the fact that it was the last bat that he swung. I swung it after swinging a 28.5 Sonic, and I loved it.
Yeah. Gabe's all about that LS life.
Yeah.
Look at his hat.
Look at my hat, man. Yeah.
It was funny though because you don't even own a single Louisville Slugger bat.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna keep wearing this hat, man. All these hats because they fit great.
Right. But anyway, we got that. Then we got the 2 mystery bats. I'm not gonna tell you what they are. You just have to stay tuned for that.
Oh yeah.
Had a couple of pretty cool ones there.
Oh yeah.
And the DeMarini Deuce got it in and swung it today too.
How new was that bat?
That's a good question. Let me look.
And the reason that I ask you that is, spoiler alert, it had a paint chip on it. And so, you and I have talked in the past about how DeMarinis tend to have paint flakes happen quicker.
Right.
But I'm just curious, like, how new this bat is in order for it to already have a paint flake.
Yeah, I did wonder that too. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Let's see if he tells me. It did have a pretty good sized paint flake. I did put it down after I did see that it was starting to come off a little more.
Around
Let's see. He
250.
says around 250. He says, "Wouldn't mind you guys putting another 200 on it." I did shut it down early for that video. I think I still got enough to make a decent review out of it. If I didn't, we'll play it by ear and go from there. But the paint chip was starting to get worse. I was even trying to hit the other side of the barrel and to stay away from it a little bit. I just didn't want to tear up, this
Somebody
guy's
else's bat,
Yeah, I
right.
mean, he acknowledged that it had a paint chip and everything else, but I just don't want to be that guy.
I wonder why it is that, because I don't really hear other manufacturers having that issue.
No, but I mean, each manufacturer has their own flaws, I guess you could say.
Sure, but I just don't know. So are they just not putting another good coat over it, like a clear coat, in order to seal it, or what's
Right, and that's one of those things. I mean, they've had issues with that in the past.
right?
I mean, you think you'd know how to fix it,
You'd think, but
but same as a Worth or a Mic and Telescope. When
Right.
they've had issues in the past, and they seem to keep doing it.
right.
In caps and compression discs breaking in combats.
I remember the first time I ever saw a Worth that telescoped.
Where was it?
It was. Well, I didn't see it in person. I saw a photo of it. It was the. It was an ASA legit. I think it was. It was red and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I think it was the first year that I ever played down in Columbia in the doubleheader league, and Bayzat was playing on a. I think he was playing on Worth 454.
Was it a legit or was it? Oh, I know which bat you're talking about. It was one of the 454 things.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry. So it was a 454.
Mutant, yeah.
Yeah, but it was red and yellow. Bayzat was on that team, so he had one, and then I think that was the same year that Rusty Bumgarner was on that team. But I saw a photo that started going around where a guy had one, and he said that it only had 10 swings on it, and it had already telescoped. And I'm like, how does a bat do that? That's insane.
I'll see if I can find a picture. I don't know if I'll be able to find one or not. I'm going to write this one down too, just to put that in there. See if I can find a picture of a telescope bat.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, what the handle does is it just runs up into the barrel. I mean, and then you can literally just run it out like a telescope.
Could you imagine hitting a dinger with it, and then
Sorry.
could you imagine hitting a dinger and then telescoping it out to
I saw this guy at BMAC one night. He's got this telescope, the bat ended up telescoping. We takes it up to his at bat the next at bat.
Yeah.
And he's standing there with it. And he just stands there. And he just stands there. And he stood there until he got a strike. It was 3-1. The pitcher threw a strike on 3-2. So he stood there and watched it. And then when the pitcher threw a strike, he just goes like that and just telescoped it out and then hit the next ball.
Did he get a base hit?
Yeah.
Oh,
God
gosh.
again.
Oh,
It was so funny.
that's good.
That was funny.
Oh.
Oh, so let's see what else we got going. Yeah, it is New Year's Eve, and I thought about doing something different. Something cool. Just wanted to kind of mix it up for New Year's Eve for you guys. We have a raffle going. It's actually filled up pretty stinking quick. That ASA Liberty that I purchased, I did that only for review. I know I've already got a bunch of questions asking why I'm selling. I was trying to sell it. Why I'm selling or getting rid of the bat, whatever else. I picked it up specifically to review to try and get you guys some more reviews. I was trying to sell it, didn't have a whole lot of interest, and I thought, what the heck, I may just raffle this thing off, just something to do for the night. And it took off pretty quick. It filled pretty quick. If that goes over well and becomes a thing, maybe I can get some more reviews for you guys. I could buy a bat, obviously with the money that I got from that. Buy a bat, review it, raffle it off with 50, 60 swings on it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically new. I didn't make a dime off of it.
Mm-hmm.
I raffled it for what I had in it plus what it's going to cost me to ship. So, hopefully if that works out, may see if we can get that going for you guys. That might be pretty cool. Moving into some more interesting topics. I was on the Old Scout. Those of you that don't know, the oldscout.com is a softball board. Get on there and do a lot of reading. There's a lot of talk about the upper level players on there and their teams and all that stuff. And I saw this interesting thread. It was the Major World Series champion, which is Smash It Sports, versus whoever the E-World champion would be. I don't know who that is. Didn't take the time to look. But those two playing against each other with E-rules.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting to see some people's outlook and feedback on that.
Mm-hmm. I originally started on the side that an E team would totally walk, would have a good winning chance at that.
And it's not a bad argument.
No, but then the more you get to thinking about it, the more you're like, well, wait a second. These upper level guys have all of these home runs that they can hit. So let's say that they're going to go play at the baseball stadium and they're getting to hit stadiums.
Right.
Like, just swing away.
Right.
Like you've got, 330 in the corners and 400 in dead center. Like, just swing away. You're never going to get close to the home run limit.
Right.
Because what is it at the stadium? Like 16?
The Hall of Fame Classic, I believe, is 16, but the Major World Series is unlimited.
Okay. So you're never going to get close to doing it. And if you put a ball in the gap, like, just run for days.
Right.
Like,
See, and even playing, that was the other thing too, is playing on a normal softball field
okay.
with no home runs and all that stuff.
Look at this. Okay, look at the Smoky. That's a regular sanctioned major tournament, and I want to say they only get 12 home runs for that.
The Smoky is unlimited.
No, that can't be right.
Yeah, the Smoky is the Chattanooga. You're thinking of the other Tennessee tournament, the Chattanooga.
Yeah,
Choo-Choo.
that's it. So if it's regular major rules, like there's a cap on home runs. I don't care what tournament it is. There's a cap on home runs, and those guys can still go up there and score 40 and 50 runs and run out of their home runs,
Right.
and still keep playing it. Now I know that, like, in that level, a home run's just a DBO. It's not an IEO.
Right, like it would be an E. And
Right.
I think that's what, a lot of people were asking the question, oh, well, can these guys keep the ball in the park? I think, unless you watch, like, the games that DW posts, that he records and posts, or you watch the live streams, a lot of people don't see these guys playing on regular-sized softball fields, or, they only see them playing, on the games that get televised on ESPN or CBS Sports, whatever it is. I mean, those guys do have bat control, even though they don't have to show it on these, tournaments that you're seeing on TV,
Right.
as far as the CBS and ESPN stuff. Just because they don't have to exhibit bat control there and can just swing away and swing for the fences doesn't mean they can't do other
Right.
things. I mean, there's a video. I'm plugging all kinds of people here tonight. Ken Van Bogert, I believe, is what he goes by on YouTube.
Bambogi.
Yeah, he does the Swing Makeover series. Honestly, I do not know which video it is. Maybe if somebody does, they can help me out and link it down below. There's a video of Kevin Philby hitting I don't know how many balls in a row.
Oh yeah, back up through the middle.
Yeah,
and
back through the two. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of screens. I mean, maybe a foot and a half, 2 feet apart.
I think it's from not this year's, but last year's, like, spring training meetup.
Yeah, whenever it was.
Because in the video he talks about, like, when he takes BP, they're only doing 10 pitches at a time,
Right.
or 10 swings at a time. But
Yeah.
like, he just, like, wears out, like, this small little isolated spot.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not some kind of laser or some kind of smoked line drive. Some of them are, but I mean, no matter what he does with the ball, it's through that same spot.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Right. A guy that, I don't want to say, like, that big, like,
Well, he's a long haul bomber.
like weight wise, but yeah, he's a long haul bomber. Like, and he's got enough control to wear out a spot if needed.
Right. And, I found it interesting, too. We were talking about them taking like 10 swings apiece. They came to St. Louis, what was that, last year? Yeah, last year they came to St. Louis, which is, if you don't know, is fairly local to me. It's about a 2-hour drive. And they showed up. I got some insider info from, I believe it was Kevin Philby. I dropped him a message to see where they were going to be hitting at, and he told me we showed up, watched them hit, and they did the same thing there. I mean, it wasn't but 10 or 15 swings, find a groove a little bit, and then shut her down and let the next guy hit.
Right.
They were out there. There was 4 or 5 of them there, and I bet they weren't there for
Denny Crine was there, wasn't he?
Uh-huh.
Philby, Denny Crine.
They'll be Denny Crine, Johnny McCraw, and maybe that was it. Might have been because they had one other guy that you remember when they did the
Like, they let a local guy compete in it.
yeah. So I think that might have been the 4th one. But either
Yeah.
way, it was pretty cool to see them guys hit in person, like on a softball field. We ended up going to Busch Stadium and watching them hit that night in the long haul bomber event. And Chris Greiner seriously almost hit a ball out of Busch Stadium, like clear out of stadium.
That's a shot, man.
That is a shot. I mean, he's wow. That's a bomb.
Yeah.
But anyway, back on topic here. Those guys do have bat control, and I think the one thing that really sets them apart, as far as the two teams, no matter how much bat control they have, is the defense. That's one thing that I didn't really think about at first until I think it was Jordan said it.
Yeah.
Defense at the upper level that's why some of those guys are there.
Well, think about it. I mean, if you've got a left-hand side, and I'm going to use names that aren't necessarily correct, but if you're looking at, like, Luis Reina up the middle, Don Dionatis at short, and then Dennis Rulli at third, if you're looking at a left side of the infield like that, like, good luck getting the ball through.
Right.
Like, and that's an outdated lineup, but that's still like
Yeah, I mean, at one point that was their thing,
right.
and that just leaves you to ponder. You know that's
Now, I'm not ruling out the fact that there could be D and C players that are playing in E.
obviously. I mean, here's the deal. I mean, if you're an E World Champion, you're probably not E players.
Right.
Whatever. Not even going to get on that topic of the sandbagging thing, but taking us from one thing to the other that I thought was pretty interesting. Why not just do away with E altogether?
Nope.
Okay, tell me why.
Well, because in theory, the way the E's set up, that's your entry level into softball.
Right.
So your entry level softball players need a division to play in on their own, rather than getting thrown into a D or a C or whatever at that point.
But I mean, obviously, we just discussed. I mean,
Right.
E is at some point probably going to have C and D players in it.
Sure.
So it's just saturated with sandbaggers.
Sure. And here's the thing, though. We always have this discussion, it seems like, at least once or twice a year. Like, we'll go to a tournament or we'll be around a tournament, and it's like you see a team show up and you're like, you're not supposed to be here.
Right.
Like, you don't have any business being here. So how do you eliminate the sandbagging in order to make E what it's supposed to be?
My proposal: you play 1 year of E. E is entry level. You can't be an entry level player for 5 freaking years.
Okay. So then you, like, no matter how good or how bad you are, you automatically get bumped to D at that point the
Right.
next year.
Right. Or, see that.
I mean, because there's some people that I know that they'll never be more than an E player. You know people that are just
Right.
the same. Like, we could name names. I'm not going to do that, obviously.
No.
But
you know, even
and for the record, I'm not saying that we're some world beaters when it comes to
Oh,
softball.
no.
I'm simply just saying that
I'm one of those guys that'll always be an E player.
I'm just simply saying that there are people that are truly like a rec type player,
Right.
That don't have any business playing in an upper level of softball. I figured.
My wife's sitting behind the camera and the dog farted. But anyway, yeah, I mean, and you can't even do like, okay, well, this team played E last year, so they can't play it this year.
Right. Because that team can disband. Those players can go and.
Correct. Which is what the problem is.
How many times have we seen that done?
Right. So you play 1 year of E, and you're done.
So for your registered name, whatever your legal birth name is,
Right.
don't get hung up on the spelling of your name. So whatever your legal name is, it's going to show that you have fulfilled your E requirement, and
Right.
then okay,
Or, like the player. I mean, I don't know why they don't do it. Maybe somebody could have a good explanation why. But do a player number like NSA does.
I actually don't mind the player number either.
I don't either.
Yeah,
The only thing that bugs me with NSA is, you know, like you can only be on 2 different rosters. Which, what if your team's not playing that weekend and you want to play?
Right.
Then your second roster is whatever the last one you were on was.
Right.
It's a mess.
right.
But
But each sanction's going to have its flaws, though.
it will. And it's not like U-Trip is the only one having this problem. It's a problem in ASA. It's a
Right.
problem in NSA Bronze.
Right.
I mean, my suggestion.
NSA bronze. Like,
What?
Like the closest bronze tournament that we're ever going to see is going to be in Branson, which is a 4-hour drive.
Right. But my suggestion on all that is 1 year of E and move up. E is entry level. E is not. It's like working at McDonald's for your entire life. I mean, it's not feasible. It's an entry level job, just the same as E is entry level
I don't know,
softball.
dog. I know some people that retired from McDonald's. Just saying. Just saying, like, you can get
I'm
into
gonna slap you in your arm again if you don't stop it.
get into a management position and you really do big things. Calvin got a job.
What that means they're moving up, though.
All right,
It's not-
Calvin. Calvin got a
Calvin
job.
got a job. McGraven's back.
I know who ain't get one.
I mean, we're getting to overstep our boundaries there with some Chappelle Show lines.
All right, so this next one that you've got down here,
I want to pull up this link for that.
yeah, because So there, I'm going to quote it as soon as this train goes by.
Okay.
Okay. So he's going to pull up the link for this, and I'm going
I'll
to
put it in the description below.
quote this, that there is a rumor that Combat Dan Smith is going to merge with Backman. Now, this thread on the Old Scout has the projected players for who's going to be a part of it. Keep going down. There's a comment on here from a person by the username of Don Cooper. Now, I don't know if that's really him or not, but he said that there is no truth to this sorry rumor. So, I don't know if it's accurate or not.
Yeah, I mean, this is all speculation. This is no reliable source.
Right, because I didn't see DW posting this to, like, confirm yay or nay.
Right, and here's another name I'm surprised hasn't landed anymore.
Correct.
Brian Circle.
Correct.
Which, again, he still isn't on this team. You got Jimmy Salas. God, I never can remember his. Luis Castillo, I believe is his name. No, I believe that's a baseball player. Either way. Andy Vitzak.
That is a baseball player.
Andy Vitzak, Jeremy Yates, Brian Logan, Chris Greinert, Breezy, never can remember that guy's name, not 100% up with this conference stuff. Brandon Lloyd, Kevin Kennington, Izzy, L.C. Watson, Neil Haglund, Lee Powers, and it says possibly 2 more role players. So
It's a decent roster.
that is a good roster.
So then, I know that CL22 didn't play last year, right? He didn't play a ton if he did.
He did. I can't remember what team.
But then also, the other name that I'm surprised isn't on that is Ryan Harvey.
Yes.
So who's he playing with then?
I don't know.
Because before we started tonight's podcast, he sent me the link and he was like, we're going to talk about this. So I got to looking at it and I saw that Ryan Harvey's name wasn't on there. Now I know that he had a down year last year, still way more of a hitter than I could ever think about being, but he had a down year. So is he getting cut? Is he going to have to go find a new team? Like if that roster's holding intact, obviously, but I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, and again, that is all speculation, obviously, but that would be quite the team. And it would explain where some of these other players, you know what? Touchscreen fail?
Now, there it
There we
goes.
go. Huh. See, it doesn't have any responses.
Okay.
But either way, moving on. Let's see where we at.
Next one.
So we got that.
Yeah.
Now to cover some topics that people may care more about. I get a lot of questions on. Oh, okay. I get a lot of questions on cold weather BP stuff. You know, what bat should I use? What bat should I not use? What ball should I hit? What temperature is the cutoff? I mean, there's a lot of factors that play into that. For this new Mikan and Worth stuff, honestly, it probably won't break. Because, I mean, today was an example of that with our mystery bat.
I don't know. I wouldn't chance it, though.
No. I mean, if you really just are dying to hit something hard in the cold.
Give me the bottle. We're getting late.
We are getting late, okay. So let me finish this and we'll do it. That way we're not interrupting the topic here. If you really do desire to hit in the cold, I would definitely suggest an Eagle BP Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
It's lightweight, high core, so there's not going to be a lot of damage on the bat. High core with high compression.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really going to kill a bat like a Classic M or a 44 would.
But it's still going to be something semi-hard for you to, like, hit if you're used to hitting M's.
Correct. Or if you just, like I said, you just die to hit that stuff. Some
Right.
people cannot live without hitting a hard ball.
Right.
Maybe you don't hit 52s on the regular. I don't know. I feel like if hitting a 52 makes a person a better hitter. If you learn how to hit it right, then you're going to get a much better result out of a harder ball.
Mm-hmm.
But, tit for tat there. Anyway, the 2 balls that I suggest, if you really desire to hit something hard, hit a BP Rocket or hit the Evil BP 52 Plus if you don't want to break your bats at all. Because 52s won't break a bat. You'll be hard pressed to find a ball that will break one of those bats. As far as bats go, if you're looking for something durable for the cold, a Sonic Plus, Annie Easton.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
Well, maybe outside of, like, the flex line.
true. Yeah, I mean, maybe some people have experience with that in the cold, or
It's still a semi-new bat, so I don't feel comfortable throwing the flex in there. But, like, if you wanted to go for, like, a torque, or like
Yes.
or what was the other one, that the actual Helmer from this year with the half-ounce end load?
Right.
Like that was still part of what I would consider the old Easton line without that flex technology.
Right. And I mean, just because you hit that bat in BP doesn't mean you have to hit it in a game.
Right.
You're just finding something so you can go out and get some swings in without killing your bats. But like I said, I mean, if it were up to me and I wanted to swing like a Worth or a Mikan or a Combat, I'm going to hit, if I just desire to hit a hard ball that day, I'll hit a BP Rocket. And, you know, if it's a bat that's got a bunch of swings on it, or, you know, you're worried about that it might break hitting in the cold, hit the BP 52 plus. That ball is literally made to be the same no matter the conditions. It'll be a 52 320 degree weather. It'll be a 52 300 in 80 degree weather.
How cold was it today when we went and hit? In the 40s? Low 40s?
Probably.
High 30s or low 40s?
Let me look. You got me wondering. I don't want to go all willy-nilly here. Let's see. W for weather. I alphabetize my apps on my phone. Does anybody else do that?
No.
So let's see.
The high was 44?
Oh, yeah. High was 46.
46, okay.
Yeah. High was 46 today.
There was a pretty good wind though, so real feel was probably closer to like 40.
Probably. Somewhere around there. I'm not sure.
And we hit a mixture of everything.
Right. And, you know, we're not looking for bats to break or anything else, and we're not trying to break bats. But I definitely don't suggest that. And just, it's the question that I get.
Right.
You know, what bat should I use, or what's the temperature cutoff? Like, for a Worth, Mikan, Combat, DeMarini, my cutoff for hitting anything hard is usually 70 degrees, 60, 70 degrees. Somewhere around in there. As far as if it was my bat, or, you know, it's a bat that had a lot of swings on it, that's probably, come on, Scout. That's probably the cutoff for, man.
Continue. Got a lot going on behind the camera here.
That would probably be the cutoff for me. Now, I didn't understand that, like I said today, I hit some BP Rockets, I hit some stuff like that. Those bats still needed to be broke in. If your bat's
Right.
broke in, there's no need in putting any more damage on it unless you just want to break it. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. 70 degrees for a cutoff for, like I said, Worth, Mikan, DeMarini, Combat. And if you just so desire to hit something in the cold, BP Rocket, BP 52 plus will not hurt a bat in any weather. I would just suggest even hitting those in the hot temperatures. If you've got a bat that's got a lot of swings and
Right.
you know you don't want to break it, check those out. Let's see. Oh, look out. Let's see. I tell you what. Let's go ahead and bust out these drinks.
Yeah.
So we always do a drink for the podcast. We did something a little different this time. What are you sighing about?
I really wish I had my my noisemaker that I had out at Katie's mom and dad's earlier.
Oh God.
That way I could play that.
What do they call those things? You're talking about the things from the World Cup a couple years ago.
Not a Vizula, no.
Yeah, Vizula. Yeah.
No, it's just like a regular, like, it's got like paper and it's a noisemaker and it's got
okay.
the little
Yeah, like,
yeah,
thing. Yeah. Oh, for New Year's.
Yeah.
I get what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
You think you have a noisemaker? That is inappropriate.
You're gonna have to
Okay.
blur that out.
I should not.
Come on, grab it.
So, drink of the podcast in spirit of the New Year.
And since, well, I'll wait for him to pull it around.
We got the last one. Welch's sparkling grape juice.
I've been sober since 1989, so I'm not gonna, ruin that for today.
Oh yeah, look at that, would you?
When in doubt, pinky out.
Oh, sorry. Can't believe I forgot.
I wonder how bad it is. I've never had the red. I've only ever had the white.
It's not that bad. It's really sugary now.
We got a smack to her.
It just tastes like carbonated grape juice.
We should have left it chilled, though. We should have left it in the chiller much longer.
Right. Can you chill this before you serve it, please?
Well, it was chilled until Jesse threw a fit.
Anyway,
We're going to edit that out. All right. So we had an interesting conversation. So our friend Tony showed up today at the field with us.
yeah.
Always great seeing Tony.
It
Love
is.
that guy.
Oh, look out.
So Jesse proposed this question, and I'm gonna let him give a little more to the backstory of it. But we started talking about hitting in the clutch, in a clutch scenario. So give us a little more of the backstory and how it came up.
Yeah, Brian and I were talking the other night, and just kind of talking about softball and everything else, because that's what we do. Right up with softball, that's all we
Right.
talk about. Hayden, bless his heart, we were sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings eating, and he sat through us talking about softball, because he was watching the Lakers game, so he didn't care.
Right.
But anyway, what we got to talking about was I am one of those people that as the day goes on and the day gets longer and the games actually mean something, I seem to hit better. You know, you get me in like a semifinal or a championship game, I mean, it's hard for me to make it out. But
It got some bite to it, man.
it's hard for me to make it out. But I can't promise what's going to happen the rest of the day. I may be floating around 500 for the whole day, but when it comes crunch time, like I said, the dog camera again.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I was getting ready to talk about. I saw that in full effect at a state tournament with you,
Yeah,
Church State. I
Yeah.
mean that. Granted, it's church.
that's the
it's,
kind of level players we are. We're church players.
it's Church State, but how many outs did you make that day? One.
I think I was 13 for 14.
Yeah.
Oh man, I still remember like it was yesterday. My one out was such a stupid swing.
But
anyway.
But I mean, it's a tournament that means something. I mean, it's a state sanctioned tournament. I don't
Right.
care. I don't care what level it is. But he was locked in that day. Like he couldn't make an out. Like it didn't matter like where the pitch was. He found a way to get on base.
Yeah.
Like so that's a perfect example of him getting locked into that scenario. For me personally, like this year at D State, like I couldn't make an out. Like for some reason that day, like my swing was just good. A lot of good base hits. Like I was on base a ton. I think for the tournament I made 3 outs.
Yeah.
And so then we got to thinking like, so what triggers that?
I don't know. Like, it's like Brian was talking in. I think a lot of it is you just get in like a daze.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're just kind of like going through the motions. Like, okay, you know, we're winning this game, or it's early in the day. You know, just kind of going through the motions. Like, okay, hit this ball, run it out, whatever. But as the day goes on and the swings mean something, like this may be your last at bat of the tournament. If you don't get a hit, or you know your team may need these runs, whatever. It just certain people can lock in and certain people don't. Like I'm not bragging. It's just, I guess, coincidence. I don't know, but it just so happens to work out very well for me. And Tony had a pretty interesting outlook on it too.
Yeah. So Tony said that the later that you get into the day and the more that the games start to matter, you actually start to focus more on like what you're trying to do.
Because you're tired.
Right. So you're actually focusing on the fact that like, okay, like I just can't step into the box and just throw a swing out there and hope for the best. Like I've actually got to like see the pitch and God, I hate to keep saying this, but like it's coming in underhand, like remember what we're talking about, but like you've actually got to focus on like the pitch coming in. Okay, if it's an outside pitch, I've got to actually make this ball get into play somehow, like
Right.
push it to the opposite side, or
Right.
you know, like
do with the pitch what needs to be done with it.
right. I've got a runner on third, and we really need a run scored here across the plate. Like I've got to find a way to get this ball into the air. That way, that runner can tag up. Like you've
Right.
actually got
Anything,
You've
yeah.
got to start thinking about scenarios and what you're going to do as you're starting to get into the box, rather than just going up there and just free swinging.
Right. And for me, it's almost. I understand it's not the correct thing to do, but for me, it's almost like for lack of better terms, it's like the killer instinct thing comes out. Like I do obviously play control into it a little bit, but for the most part, I'm just probably going to hit a ball as hard as I can and make you sorry you stood in front of it.
Right. That's
Kind of how I get when I get in that mode. Home Runs for Heroes co-ed was a prime example of that for me. I think it was the semifinal game and then the championship game is when I'd locked in. Hell, I'd struck out looking earlier in the day. I mean, I was far from good. Wasn't even good the day before until, the end of the day there too. But
Right.
Anyway, I just locked in, kind of got into a groove of, smashing a few balls back where they needed to go. And from there it took off, and I don't think I made. I think I made 1 out in the last 2 games. So I think Tony was definitely onto something. Like, you're tired, so you focus more on what you're doing, and then, like you said, the swing means something. So you're going to put it where it needs to go. May not be what you want to do with the pitch, but if you've got 2 strikes, you need to hit what's given to you.
Right.
And I mean, simply the fact that I'm not good with finding words to
So I said that muscle memory
Yes, yes.
has to kick in a little bit too at that point, because like if that's your 4th or 5th game for the day, like you're naturally going to be a little tired,
Right.
Just because of all that you've gone through for the day. So at what point do all the times that you've gone out and hit BP the 2 weeks before that, or the hours that you put in before that, like trying to get your swing right, like at what point does that finally kick in for you when mentally you may not have enough there to like make it happen?
Correct. Yeah, and I think it's a big thing. That's where, in my opinion, I know some people hate tee work, but in my opinion, I think that's where the tee work really pays off for me,
Yeah.
because it really grinds that muscle memory. It does mess with some people as far as like maybe finding timing with live batting practice, but honestly, I hit enough that a few rounds of tee work here and there aren't going to hurt me. Now, I won't do tee work going into a tournament. That won't be my swings before I go to a tournament.
Right.
But you just kind of take what you can, and like I said, I think Tony really hit the nail on the head there with the muscle memory prevails. And if you take good swings in batting practice, that's when it will shine. This stuff is really good.
Again, we're not world beaters when it comes to softball, but I think that what helps set us apart is the fact that we like do put in the work and the preparation for stuff like that.
Right.
That way, it does start to become a little second nature if you are in a situation later in the day.
Correct. I agree.
I'm not saying that like we end up in the championship for a lot of tournaments. I'm just simply saying that like when it matters.
We do have good days. We're
Right.
not going to gloat or brag.
Right.
I mean, we do. We do have good days at tournaments, sometimes more than not.
Right. So then, because of the hours that we're putting in for BP and stuff like that, like you can start to kind of rely on that later in the day too.
Something I want to work on. I'm putting you on the spot here.
Okay.
We were talking about this earlier today. Goals for the BP Hero for 2017. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean like the channel. Sure, I'll say some things for the channel
Sure.
because I got to thinking about it earlier today.
Yeah.
But just like myself in general and yourself in general. I mean, what are your goals for 2017?
I'd like to
Do
probably.
you have goals?
Oh yeah, I've got goals. Like I should probably lose a little bit of weight. Like that would probably like help me like just in life. But then
that's a life goal, bro.
yeah, like in life. But then like also softball. So like I'm not super like crappy at the end of a game.
Right.
Maybe this year like we won't finish second at a state tournament and we can actually like win one. Like that would maybe be on there.
Well,
So
let me tell you
like,
something. It ain't gonna happen to me running the team.
right, right, man. I don't know. Like, I guess I'd like to see us being more championships than not. So like continue build off of the progress that we made, last year and continue to work towards a more competitive
Right.
team regularly would probably be on there.
Yeah, when it comes to men's, yes.
Right. Even co-ed for that matter. Like I know.
So we, not to brag, but I mean, we play with Brian and his co-ed crew.
Oh man, it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. It's a good team. We have a lot of fun. It's a lot of good people. I mean, honestly, that team is good. And I'm not saying that I make it good. I'm not saying that he makes it good.
Right.
It's a team effort. You don't really look out there on that field and look at one player and say, that's the best person on the field.
Right.
In my opinion, a good team is that way.
Right.
You can't look at one person and say, oh, well, he's the best guy on that team. You look at this guy and you think, oh, well, he's good at this. Well, then you got this other guy that's good at this. Well,
Right.
then you got this other guy that's good at this. Then you got this girl who's good at this. That's what makes a co-ed team.
Right.
And we have a lot of good tournaments with them. I couldn't tell you how many. I think at least 3 or 4. We won 3 or 4 tournaments this year. Placed in that many more. I had a couple decent runs this year in men's, but that's probably the one thing that I may look forward to in 2017. Is this isn't me crying or playing the woes or anything else. I'm just simply saying. I don't have a men's team for 2017.
I don't either.
Hey,
Man, that's crazy.
I don't have a men's team for 2017. If the phone rings, I'll pick it up and I'll go play.
Right.
But
We got a co-ed team though.
right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the co-ed thing, we got that. We got a good thing going there.
I would like to see them like. And I'm just gonna say this now. I would like to see like Brian try and have them play like a state tournament
Yes.
and see how competitive they may be there.
Right. I mean, a lot of those guys, girls, everything, still kind of wet behind the ears when it comes to slow pitch too.
Right.
I mean, there was at one point that Brian thought, state tournament was the show me games.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
it's they're that young and they're that good. That's what's impressive to me. So, I think it's kind of one of those things. I've been playing slow pitch for 10 years. You have too.
We talked about that earlier today.
Yeah.
This I think for you too. This May of 17 will make my 10 years that I've been playing slow pitch.
I remember this buddy of mine who got me to come out there and play. I played baseball with him when I was in high school. He calls me. He says, "Hey man," he's like, "You want to come play some slow pitch? Like we need a player tonight." I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll come out there." I was like, "What bat do I use?" And he picks up this bat and he hands it to me. He says, "Here, use this." He's like, "I'm trying to break it in. Everybody says just hit it on a pole and it'll get better." I was like, "Oh well, you should go do that real quick." So he takes it out there, and he hits this thing on this pole and it says, "Boing!" And he's like, "Ow!" Starts to yell a bunch of cuss words and he puts it down. It was an Easton reflex.
We mentioned earlier, Tony's the one that actually got me started playing slow pitch. Like he used to run the church's slow pitch team, and that was the first year. And honestly, I think that was the last good year that the team had. But like I got to play with my cousin Wes and Tony. Like I got to meet a bunch of great people. But 10
Right.
years ago was like when that
Woman, did you want any of this?
he's about half asleep.
Okay. She. But yeah, that's we kind of got diverted there. But back on topic.
So okay, so you want to play more co-ed or like play more?
Yeah.
Okay, so what else do you have in mind?
No, play more men's. I want
Okay. Like, do you want to play like competitive men's or just men's in general?
whether it be land on a good men's team. And I have had one offer. I'm still kind of figuring out what I want to do there. I kind of feel like I want to start my own team. I did that for 2015. Man, what a headache. It was good, it was bad. It was good, it was bad. It was good, it was bad. Rome wasn't built in a day. For anybody out there running a team, just remember that. But with my work schedule and sometimes player accessibility also becomes an issue. But I kind of think that's the direction I want to go. Maybe for 2017, I want to have a men's team and have a record of 500.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
decent.
considering we were, what, I think 3-19. No. I forgot about Home Runs for Heroes. We had a pretty good tournament of Home Runs for Heroes.
Before that, we'd only had the one win, and that was at NSA.
It was bad.
Yeah,
We were in a lot of games.
right,
I mean, there was a lot of games that we just honestly beat ourselves.
right.
But, first year woes, everything else. Still kind of learning and figuring things out as far as building a team and that kind of thing. I feel like I've learned a lot in those 2 years to kind of get a good thing going there. So maybe that's a goal for 2017. Another goal for 2017, I'm sitting here looking at it right now. In 2016, I acquired 1,407 subscribers. So maybe next year, that's basically 1,400. So maybe for this next year, I want to acquire double my audience. I want to acquire 2,800 subscribers.
So how many subscribers are you at right now? You're at 16.
Let me look. Because I had some of them before. Gosh dang it. There we go. Because I did have subscribers before. It's Y2K. 5 years, or 16 years late. I have 1,676. I did have some subscribers earlier, but the BP Hero thing really didn't take off until, halfway through the year last year. Kind of took it and ran with it, and it's became what it is.
Right.
Without you guys and your support, probably wouldn't be doing this. It's been a lot of fun. But double my audience that I got this year, definitely be a big goal. Travel to a conference tournament, record some games, do a little photography, get the BP Hero name out there. That'd be kind of cool. Another thing for maybe me personally. Yeah, we're gonna skip that.
No, say it.
No, 'cause
But you got me curious now.
well, I mean, I don't like talking about. It's nothing to do with softball.
Okay.
It's more of like a gym thing because it has to do. Because I got to think about the vlogs.
Okay.
You know, I go to the gym. I like to powerlift.
Right.
Maybe do a powerlifting meet.
Okay.
I know that's like completely like left field for what we talk about on this podcast.
Right.
That's why I was debating not saying
Okay.
it. It really doesn't have anything to do with anything here. I know some people that watch this channel work out, and that's great. But for some people, it's just not for them. And that's fine. But maybe compete in a powerlifting meet. I've been powerlifting specifically for about 2 years now, maybe about 2.5. And maybe it's time to just go to a meet just to say I did it.
Okay.
Kind of one of them things.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I definitely didn't see you going that way with it.
no, like I said, that's why I debated not saying it, because it's really irrelevant to the channel.
Anything else personally?
No, not really. I mean, content with where things are at right now.
Okay.
Eat salads, get on fat. I think that's every fat person's goal.
Right. Goals.
I would like to vlog more. Tell me what you guys think of these vlogs. I think I've got 4 on the channel, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to sit here and count them all up, but I believe I've done 4 vlogs now. Those are a lot of fun for me to do. She's asleep.
Do that like spectators.
Those are a lot of fun for me to do. I like editing them. I think it's fun to shoot them. Kind of take you guys through my day. There are times that there's just nothing going on softball related. I could vlog those days, but I feel like since this is a softball oriented channel, that wouldn't be interesting. But you guys seem to be interested in me and what I do, so maybe I would. I don't know. Because that's what got me on the thought of the gym thing was the vlogs. Maybe vlog a little more gym footage, or maybe vlog a powerlifting meet prep. Kind of that thing, I don't know. But the vlogs are fun, I like doing them. If you guys like doing them, I'll keep doing them. It seems like they get a good reaction. So it'll be quality over quantity on those for sure. But do more vlogs for 2017. Uh-oh, camera's going dead. BP Hero out.